Good afternoon. I'm sitting here and I'm just kind of laughing at myself. Just kind of laughing at myself. The title of today is eating an elephant. Some bites take longer than others. And I just heard that expression on a YouTube and that I was listening to. It's just like, and it goes towards uh, being able to grasp things, comprehend, understand, retain, um, get a revelation of things. And there's some things. Oh, here I'm gonna show y'all my shirt. It's consider the bird. Consider the birds. Yeah, some things take longer than others. There you go. Nobody takes better care of me than Dad. Nobody takes better care of me than Dad. But some things take longer than others to grasp. I know that there's things in life that are easy for me. Um, it pretty much anything having to do with daily stuff that you would normally do. I do so much stuff like that without thinking about it that you know. But it might be hard for other people. I get up in the morning and I'm very methodical in the morning. Uh, but still have times that it's hard to. Right now, it's getting hard to speak. So I just stop. Lord, thank you that you're right here with me. I do. I thank you that you take over. I'm excited to be here today, and when I get excited, thoughts come faster than my tongue can speak. So I'm gonna slow down my thoughts, and I'm going to listen to you, and I'm going to speak calmly and gently in Jesus' name. So I came on here today to talk to y'all about just different things. I don't really have an agenda, to be quite honest. But I heard that some bites take longer than others. There's some people that take a course, like computer courses. I just use that just because that's been my one of my biggest challenges. And they some people can take computer course and computer everything, and man, they can get it, and it is just so easy for them. And then there's other people that have to do it over and over and over again. I can do any kind of computer work that you want me to do if I have to consistently do it over and over and over again. And I will comprehend it. Believe it or not, I used to work for a Texas county, and when Texas went digital in a lot of their registration. In other words, we already had a system in place that each county had a different system in place where they would put your information in that got you registered, that would trigger it to send you a voter registration card so that whenever you um, went to vote, you were on the list. But then the whole state said, "Oh, we're going to go on this all-in-one and all-inclusive system." And our county was one of the counties that was used as a guinea pig. And so we got to learn it first and got to work out the bugs and figure other things. And I actually had to learn. I learned the system, and I learned backdoors, ways to get things done that were not directly this way. Oh, but if you go around this way and you can put things in a lot faster, it works better. It just, and that's probably not a good example, but there's always a way. There's always a solution to every problem. And so I would try to find solutions to the problems. And as time went on, the system got better and it got better and it got better. I would stop calling the state, the Secretary of State's office 20 times a day saying, help, you know. And I got to the point where it's like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. Really can do. I am liking this. I'm really liking this. Well, then everybody went to electronic voting, and don't get on to me about voting and stuff like that, and about stopping people's right to vote and stuff like that. We're not going that down that rabbit trail. We're staying on course. When it went to everybody voting electronically, that's another system that I had to learn how to do because our county was one that they came in and said, you guys your county can save money if you'll program your ballot yourself. You don't have to send it all in and pay a bunch of money for us to do it and send it back and forth and back and forth. You can do it directly here. So my boss and I sat down uh, weekdays, weekends, weeknights, weekend nights, just for the longest time, learning stuff. Both of us would be sitting at the computer crying. I was older than her. I was a week older. And we would just be sitting there crying because why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? Because everything you did, it had to be tested. It and test. I don't know how they do it now. I've been out of it for 7 years, and everything had to be tested. So we tested it and tested it and tested it. Sometimes we would get to that point to where it would just be so overwhelming. We would just be crying, and she'd be calling people on the weekends. What am I doing wrong? And it'd be something simple like, did you check this box? And we'd go back and look. And you have to really go back some steps and look and know, okay, you have to check that box and you have to start all over to make it all work. So that's what we would do. We would check that box and go back and work and have to test everything out all over. And it was just, gosh, it was a learning process. And I really kind of enjoyed it. Except for my boss could go without food, and I just can't. I cannot go without food for more than 3 hours. Then I really want to eat. But 4, 5, and 6, it's like, we aren't working here. So I'm saying that I think to say that there's some things that people can grasp easier than others. And for me, computers, I can grasp computers. I'm just laughing at myself because I got a ticket last year. It was right after Robert passed, and I was in a mental state. I really probably I shouldn't have been driving, but I didn't have anybody to go pick up my dogs from the groomers, and so and then I missed my turn. So I'm driving down the interstate service road, trying to figure out now how do I get back on there? I can't figure it out. And all of a sudden, I'm passing a policeman, and I see his lights are on, and I'm like, oh, I better pull over so he can get by me. He can get by me. It was me. I was going 17 miles over the speed limit. I have not had a ticket since I was 17 or 18. So that's been a day or two. They tell me, I go to court, they tell me everything you have to do. So I go and you tell me what to do and how to do it. And I go and I do it and I get it. I get my defensive driver course taken. the certificate comes up. I go to print it. It doesn't fit the page. And I tried everything I could to get this thing to fit the page. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, so I just printed it. And the important part down at the bottom didn't print. Notice I said the important part didn't print. And I've been to court 2 or 3 times, or to the city 2 or 3 times, and taken stuff. And I'm like, y'all, I can't figure this out. I've had younger people than me try to figure it out, and they couldn't. So I had a big dog come over the other day. We were sitting here talking about stuff, and I've gotten a summons from the court because I have to go to court now to prove that I did everything I was supposed to do. Then we were sitting there, and I happened to have this document up, and I was like, if I'd have had somebody like you months ago, I can't get this to print. Y'all, she just did one little thing and said, click, fit to print. Printed it off, and it worked perfectly. So I think that goes back to those days of working, in elections when we were trying to program the ballots. If you don't click the right button, nothing else works. So maybe that should be today's topic. If you don't click the right button, nothing else works. But I have times in life when I am reading books. I'm not an avid reader. I say I'm not an avid reader. I don't read a lot of books because it takes me so long to read books, because I don't just, let me read this book. I have to read this book. And it's just like every little word I have to read and digest. And it some bites take longer than others. And so I'm sorry if you've written a book and said, buy my book and read it. I've got a shelf full of books. You don't know these things. That's a bad habit. I've got a shelf full of books that I've ordered over the years, never read them, had intentions to read them. And some people say, well, read 10 minutes a day. That means I've got to really sit still 10 minutes a day. But there's other books that I have ordered, and I've been reading and reading and reading and reading. And one of them I started on here, and it's called The Nature of God by Graham Cook. And I was going through the 10 things that really gets God's attention, or I don't think it's the right thing. I don't have the book in here, so I'm probably saying it wrong. But 10 things that really attract our presence with God, and His, getting us to be in line with Him. And I got to number 6, and I haven't been able to get past that. And it says, talk to God about what season you're in right now, or what season you're going into right now. And I'm thinking, I don't know where I'm going. I hadn't figured out where I am yet. But then it says, tell Him your fears and your dreams. Don't hold anything back. Water, can't cry. But don't hold anything back, because He knows everything. You guys, if you take time to bite into that elephant, take time to bite into that elephant. Some bites just take longer than others to chew and to digest. And I just encourage you, take time to sit with the Lord and talk to Him about where you are right now. I'm at a point in my business where I've pulled up, I have a business plan, I think, and I'm scared to look at it. I'm scared to go forth. That elephant is going to take some bites. And I'm in networks that they discuss these things, and they're people that are, wow, they are going forward and they're really doing some amazing things. And I'm like, I'm too, God, I'm too scared to take the step. Oh, but He shows me dreams. He's like, Christy, but I got all these dreams. So I just need you to take one more step. Take a bite. Chew on this for a while. And take a step. Don't be afraid. And that's easier said than done. And then I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of these people have spouses and they work together and they work side by side. And even though my first husband and I owned a business together, we really didn't work together. Except for when he needed somebody to come insulate a house. I'd go do that. But he didn't like the way that I did the office work, and he didn't like the way that I paid bills, and he just didn't like the way that I did things. So I'm kind of jealous of husband and wives that work so well together, and they're just right there alongside each other. I would have loved to have had that with Eddie. I would have loved to have had that with Robert. I paid for that, for Robert and I to have that. And then he said, Christy, you never asked me. And he was right. I never asked him if he wanted to do that. But doing business on your own and not having anybody to fall back on. I mean, if I succeed, it's God. It's me and God together. If I fail, it's me. But I have a reminder right here. I've never read this book. Mm-mm. I don't know if I ever will. But I like that it says Dare to Win. It's a winning program for success. And it's also great fun to read. I strongly recommend it by somebody, Mandino. Don't even know who that is. It was Robert's book. And I saw it and I'm like, Dare to Win. So I'm daring myself to win, but I'm taking smaller bites. I'm moving forward. I'm further now than I was yesterday, a lot further. Yesterday was not the greatest day. um, but I'm moving forward. And I want you to move forward too. Yeah. Encourage one another. That's even written in the Bible. Encourage one another. And encourage each other in the Lord. Encourage somebody to get up and have a good day. Today is a good day to have a good day. Today is a great day to have a great day. My mother and I went today, and since we had to go pick up her prescriptions, and Panera Bread was right there, we went and had lunch together because we had to. So encourage somebody. Go have lunch with them. Bless them. Buy their lunch. Be that person that takes a bite with them and chew it together. Talk to each other. Pray for each other. Love on each other. And be the joy that somebody needs in their life today. So I bless you in the name of Jesus. Hey, if you like this, um, like the content, hit the subscribe button, like, share, and comment. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, thank you. Bye.